this is a Swami love story, I think, that we're about to get into, which I think we need more Swami love stories because they're beautiful things. And Swami works in all countries and in all places to bring people together so that they'll grow spiritually, so that their marriage can bring forth children that will benefit the world. And this is one such couple, and we are so fortunate to be here with them. And I'm going to throw it to you guys, and particularly to Amita, because I know that the ladies always have all the inside details of what really happened, about your Swami love story, if you would.
Well, thank you, Sairam. So it was in 2011 when, I guess you reach that certain age, everyone keeps asking of, oh, have you met someone? When are you getting married? And, I guess my parents had asked plenty of times, and, I believe Swami orchestrates everything. We can't control or dictate when, and when you least expect it is when you meet that someone. And that's exactly what happened. And so one Diwali, I had gone to my sister's and we had lunch, as we always do every year as a big family. And that year Hemant had come, and by chance, or probably not by chance, there was one seat left next to me, and Hemant took a seat. The lunch went on, didn't really talk for most of it. And then near the end, we started talking, common interest, just normal chit chat. He had come late and he had come with someone. So I naturally assumed, oh, that must be his wife, and, didn't think much of it, wasn't thinking at all about love at that point. And then, we exchanged numbers, said, oh, I'd love to talk some more. It was interesting. I said, okay, sure. And we kind of left it at that. I got in the car. My family started to ask, oh, you and the dentist. I said, oh my God, not me and the dentist. His wife was there. And they said, that's not his wife, that's his sister. She came with him. Yeah. And then we met, months later at Bhajan's, and, he was friendly, and he said, oh, it's good to see you. We're, in the same path, we're the same age, we understand each other and family. We should just sometime meet for dinner. I said, yeah, that sounds fine. So
it was a little bit more engaging than that sounds fine. That sounds, what's hard for a lot of people to remember is that when you're in your late 20s, right, or mid to late 20s, 30s, you're looking for people where there's that commonality. And there's very few people where you connect on, okay, we have the same morals, same ethics, same principles.
So then when we met up for dinner, he picked me up, we went for dinner. And I would say it's the first time where I've had a dinner with someone the same age, same point in life, but sharing Swami stories. That's not common, had not happened to either one of us before. And it didn't feel like it wasn't a date, really. It was just like he said, it was two people meeting with the same, like-mindedness. And so we had dinner, and we're talking about Swami stories and sharing his experience and my experience, and being in the Swami fold. And all of a sudden, I smelled something, and we're in a nice restaurant, and I didn't want to say anything quite yet, but it definitely reminded me of Buddha-bharti, and it smelled like the incense that we always smell in the ashram. And I let a few minutes go by. I said, okay, it's probably in my mind, don't say anything. And then after a few minutes, it came again, and it felt stronger and very distinct that was the smell I was smelling earlier. And then we caught each other's eye, and I think we were both thinking the same thing, but both didn't really want
we didn't want to say
it.
So the third time it happens, and I remember looking at her and I said, you smell that? And she goes, I do. And I said, okay. So we called the waiter over, and we said, are you burning any incense? I mean, it's a very distinct smell, right? So the waiter looked at us and he gave us this very odd look. He goes, "Sir, what you were smelling is lavender-infused cedar."
Yeah.
And no, that's not what we're smelling. I mean, there's no way you can really pass that off. And so we both acknowledged it. It's not once, it wasn't twice, it was 3 times. And 3 is pretty significant. So.
And so we both were, I think we just sort of, smiled at the waiter and said, okay, you can believe what you want to believe. But we knew, both of us immediately at the same time said, do you smell like Nag Champa, like Agarbatti? And he's like, absolutely. So I think we were both somewhat maybe surprised, shocked, but in some ways fitting, because here we had spent 2.5 hours talking about Swami, and then here we smell his Agarbatti. And so, I think the rest of the evening was wonderful. We left, and that was on a Thursday that we had met. On that Saturday, in my very small New York apartment, I had one picture of Swami, very similar to this one, and around close to somewhere between 9 and 10:30, my sister was visiting, and we looked up at the picture, and Vibhuti had materialized on Swami's picture. And within an hour or so, we got word that Swami had left the physical form. And, we quickly got ready and left for Connecticut, where I would eventually see Hemant again. But in that moment and weeks to come after that, I think a part of me felt that Swami had it was so orchestrated so perfectly that I had met him on a Thursday. We had this experience. He comes into my apartment. There's materialized Vibhuti on his picture. And it was almost that feeling that Swami had taken care of me, that he, I think that worry that every parent has of making sure my daughter is married and happy, and I guess our deepest desire of Swami introducing me to someone and being a part of that came into fruition for us. And we really felt like that Swami had, as his wish before leaving this world in the physical form, had put us in touch. And weeks and months to come after that, we had grown closer and seeing more of each other, either at bhajans or then starting to have more dinners, and very quickly realized that this was one of many miracles that we would experience though together. And we knew right away that we were meant to be together. And as though that story wasn't enough that he wanted us to be together, we felt like we needed to ask Swami again to bless our marriage, and that we wanted to ask his permission. So we both wrote letters.
I mean, I think that confirmation is what you, as a human, you always want, right? So I was telling the story earlier that Swami's always joked with me about, where's your wife? Are you married? Etc. So in the back of my mind, I always assumed Swami he's going to take care of it. And here we are, and Swami's now past this physical form. And I remember there was a summer where he said to me, I will see you, mother, sister, and wife tomorrow morning for an interview. And I was maybe early 20s at that time. So we go to our interview, and there's no wife there. So again, here we are, fast forward. I just need that confirmation. So we wrote letters to Swami, and we put them in the altar, and we left them there to get blessed. And the next day, we get a call from her sister saying, there's a Vibhuti on your letters. And so we went to go see, and we had asked for Baba's blessing, and we needed that physical confirmation, but Swami's no longer there. I can't go to India to ask for that confirmation. So we go there, we see the Vibhuti on the letters, and Amita had put her shoes upstairs by the mandir, and mine were actually downstairs in the basement of the Shelton Center.
And as we were leaving, I went to my shoes and found Vibhuti in my shoes. And a few minutes later, followed him saying, I found Vibhuti in my shoes as well. And we thought maybe it had gone across all of them, but out of all the shoes, it was just the two of our shoes that had Vibhuti, and they were in different locations in the house. And I think the moment where the whole house knew that this was Swami's
this is done.
confirmation that, you are meant to get married. If there's not a better answer for two people to know they are meant to be together and be married, that was it.
Here's confirmation that you're supposed to walk that road of life together, right?
Soon after that, months later, we got married, and I can say we're close to 8 years and, many years ahead of us, but I can definitely say that, we were truly blessed and felt that this marriage was not our doing, but Swami's doing, and brought us together.
And one more aspect to that is, as I mentioned, Swami had always joked with me about my wife. I never knew this, but he had materialized a Mangala Sutra for Amita and given it to my mother quietly, and my mother never told me about it. So at our wedding, Mom pulled it out and said, Swami materialized this for your wife, knowing that he wouldn't be here. So, that was a full circle confirmation, right, for us. So, he has a plan, and he knows what's going to happen better than any of us do.
So a blessed couple indeed. So happy you all joined us for the 95 stories. Jai Sai Ram.
So,